What's your Everest? On one of the expeditions to Mount Everest, on the north side, our team was working its way through the Rumbuck Glacier up to the North Col and heading to the upper reaches of the mountain. We had made a summit push high in the mountain and had come back and were reorganizing some camps. And one of the climbers was tired and beaten up from the effort, had gone a few days without much sleep and hadn't eaten much, was dehydrated and was trying to clip his carabiner attached to a lanyard roped to his harness onto a fixed line that we would use for safety on the descent. These carabiners are they're D-shaped rings that lock together with a spring gate and often a little screw that holds them in place that allows you to clip in and be safe when you're climbing the mountain. Well, this gate and the spring that opened and closed was jammed with snow, and when the climber clipped onto the line, he didn't realize that it didn't bounce closed, and so he wasn't as secure as he thought, or at all, in fact. And a few minutes later, as he leaned onto the rope to take its support, the carabiner popped off. And quickly, he fell. Right in front of his two other companions, and just boom, disappeared. The snow was steep and hard-packed and ice, and he would drop 4,000 feet without interruption into the Rumbuck Glacier below. The group stood there and watched, his mouth, and bang, he was going, picking up speed, bouncing a little bit, grabbing his ice axe to self-arrest, but so quick, and maybe his reactions weren't as fast as normal. The acceleration pounded him down the mountain. He was trying to get his ice axe in the snow, but he couldn't get any sort of braking power, and he just disappeared. Well, down below, a climber from a totally different expedition was coming up the same line that the climber tried to hook into, but had failed. And as the climber falls, he reaches up and just bam, blocks him to a stop, gets him knocked down himself, but still hangs on to the rope that he's clipped into. He grabs the carabiner that had failed and he clips it into the line and closes it off. He was this big, tall, bearded European fella. And we're hugging him. Thanks for saving our climber. Thanks. Oh, thanks. The climber's hugging him, his leg. Oh, man, thanks for saving me. And he just turns to us in this really rich accent and he says, I was meant to be here today. And climbs off into the clouds and disappears. It was a great story about how this person wasn't really a part of our group, but how he was, in fact, a part of our team. And we just don't know, I think, in life, where our teammates are, where those champions for our cause may come. They themselves might not even know, but circumstances come to play, situations occur, and there you are, faced with a teammate. And I try to remember that when I'm feeling a little beaten up, when I'm feeling deflated. In those moments, just to remember, even though that situation, I can't see that team member. Just try to remind myself that they're out there. Just give them a chance. And they're out there. And maybe all you have to do is reach out for some help. And they'll be there to help you in ways you couldn't have imagined. Your team, it's bigger than you think.